my name is Karen Kameno. I'm a mother of two young sons. I'm a business owner. I'm also an author and a coach. I'm the CEO and founder of three businesses, Royal Online Business Solutions, which is a VA company that I started in 2009. So we've been in 15 years of business. Actually, this is our 16th year. And then stay-at-home moms making money. I started this business in 2018, and this is this coaching business. And then I also started a VA company, co-founded in Kenya. It's Carry Business Solutions, and we just started it in 2019, end of 2019. So I have a bachelor's degree in design. I'm a certified online business manager or OBM, and I also completed CEO Business School. I'm an Amazon best-selling author of a book titled Stay-at-Home Moms Making Money, 7 Steps to Starting Your Own Virtual Assistant Business. And I actually have the book here. This is my Amazon best-selling book. And so I am a business and life coach and trainer and teacher. So what I do is I help my clients or students start their VA businesses so that they can have the freedom, flexibility, and financial independence to design a lifestyle that aligns with their values using tailored strategies unique to Africa, because Africa has its own unique challenges, and VAs also experience those unique challenges. And so my trainings, my courses bear that in mind, because the challenges in Africa are not the challenges that are faced by VAs in other parts of the world. They are unique. And so that's what I also make sure that I'm addressing in my coaching and training programs. So our goal today is to learn marketable, in-demand VA skills, discover your marketable VA skills, review overlooked skills that you probably have that you can monetize as a VA, and get clear about your next steps. So that is my goal for you today. All right, so we're going to get started. Who is a virtual assistant? A virtual assistant, abbreviated as a VA, is a person hired as an independent contractor, not an employee, to provide business support services remotely. And the key thing about virtual assistants is that it's remote. You offer those services from a remote location and not from the same space as your clients. A virtual assistant may choose to be a general VA, or they may choose to specialize. And we're going to go a little bit in details about that. A VA can provide their services as a freelancer. You can be working part-time on a project basis, or you can work full-time as a registered business. And also as a freelancer, you could have full-time hours as a freelancer. The difference is that you don't have a registered business. You're just offering your services as a freelancer. And a VA business may be registered as a sole proprietorship, as a corporation, or a limited, liability company, or as a partnership. Like if you want to get into the business as, with a partner, with a sister, with a spouse, you can have a partnership. And then you must register a business name and apply for a tax ID or PIN number or a KRA number in the case of Kenya, whatever that your local tax authorities require. When you register a business, you need to follow whatever the steps are for you to have a legitimate business. Okay. And then, so what services do VAs provide? VAs provide a wide variety of services. In a nutshell, any business support service that you can think of that you can be hired for is potentially a service that you can offer if it can be done remotely. So, and I say this because sometimes people's ideas of what virtual assistance is limited to maybe transcription or academic writing or receptionist, remote receptionist, or just very basic services, and very limited services. But really, it's a very broad spectrum. You can offer any service that you can think of that you can be hired for in the traditional employment space that can be done remotely is potentially a service you can offer as a VA. So just broaden your mind, don't limit yourself. Here are some examples: customer service or call center services. That's what my VA business offers. Email marketing support, social media marketing and support, general admin services, software application software or application implementation and training, virtual bookkeeping and accounting, video animation and editing, podcast editing and management. And these are just a few. And this is what is typically considered just the basics. But today, I'm also going to be sharing the current in-demand skills and the landscape is changing because of AI. So we are going to learn how things are morphing and changing because of the impact of AI. Okay. All right. So basic skills that you need as a VA. You need to be computer literate. If you're, let's say, for the people who've just joined, and you have no knowledge of virtual assistants, if you're not computer literate, that would be your first step before even considering virtual assistants, because everything is computer based. Absolutely everything as a VA is done through a computer and through the internet. So you need to have internet savviness. You need to be internet savvy. And then it's a huge benefit if you have some admin skills at a bare minimum, or have office work experience, or you've worked in an office type of environment and you just understand how a business works, like a formal business, how departments are interrelated, interconnect. Just having that mind picture is very, very important, because it's the exact same thing in the virtual space. The only difference is that everything is happening um, in the online space. It's not happening physically, it's happening online, but everything is literally the same. So if you've worked in that kind of, like in a corporation, it's or business, and or understand how everything is interconnected, how processes work, how they're connected, how departments connect with one another, then it's very easy then to see that happening, or how that can happen in the virtual space. But if you don't have that um, experience, it would be very, very challenging to then see or even fathom or imagine how then that works, how virtual assistance works, because that's a question that a lot of people ask, like, okay, how does that work? How do I communicate? How do I get paid? How do I, I'm not receiving a check. Like, how does that all work? Okay, but that is something that you get to learn. So basic tools you obviously need a laptop or a computer, and not just a smartphone. You need high-speed internet, and you need a reliable smartphone. So you do need the phone, but that's not going to be your main tool for working. Just the same way, if you're employed somewhere and you have a computer that you work with, if you imagine the work that you do on your computer, and now imagine that you only have a smartphone to do all the work that you do on your computer, obviously you'll be very, very limited at the bare minimum, and at worst you'll start having health issues. Your eyes will probably not be working within a very short time, because you just can't do that amount of work on a small screen for long periods of time. Okay. All right. Now we are going to transition to the most in demand skills. So knowing what's in demand will help you focus on the right niche and the right skills. So it's very, very important, because especially when you're entering into this space, it's good to know what's in demand, and then be able to assess yourself and see, oh, okay, is that an area that I'm interested in? Number one. And then number two, do I have the skills that those niches or those uh, needs that clients have? Do I have what they need so that I can offer those things that are in demand? Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, the landscape is changing because of AI. And so the beautiful thing is that there are some things that are just standard, like they will never change, because of the nature of business. And so general virtual assistants, that is not going to change. It doesn't change because a general VA is somebody who is able to multitask and do a whole variety of different tasks. And so core admin tasks like email management, scheduling, organization, filing, all those things, and many more. Because this, when you're a general VA, basically you are there to serve your client in whichever way they want you to serve them. And so it could be anything. It could be online shopping, running some online errands. It could be researching. It could be anything. And so as long as you are a person who's a fast learner and willing to learn, and also, you're flexible, you're not rigid, then general virtual assistance is a great place, and it's always a great starting point, especially if that's your background. If you've worked in office type environments, you've done admin work, then this is a great starting point. Customer service also is excellent because you're managing client communications with professionalism and empathy. I emphasize empathy because there's been concerns about, okay, will AI take over, especially things like customer service. There's portions of AI that, of customer service, yes, that AI is going to take. And also depending on the clients and the business owners. There's some business owners who want their customers to always have a human experience. And so for them, AI is not an option. But there are other clients or business owners who are more innovative, and they want to just go with, what's going on with the new changes, and looking at productivity and how we can serve more of our customers faster, and give them accurate answers and all that. But that's also at the expense of empathy. And that's why I wanted to emphasize empathy, because AI does not have that element, at least not yet. So there's a human element that customer service and customer relationship, customer care, that AI can't copy. Like, you can't just copy that part, because when you have empathy, you're literally putting yourself in somebody else's shoes and being able to serve them from that point. And AI can do that. And so the general virtual assistants, customer service, these are essential skills that businesses need, that although AI is impacting to a degree or another, it can't take over. So for general virtual assistants, anyone who wants to go into that space, AI can help and support you in being a lot more efficient, a lot more productive. So you can leverage AI to help you work better, but it doesn't necessarily mean that AI by itself can work itself. It's a tool that you would use to help you do better work, better quality, better, be more efficient, be more productive. So leveraging AI to enhance your productivity is how AI can really come into play in these two areas. So these are essential VA skills. So these have been essential since the beginning of VA being something that exists. But now with AI, other things have shifted in terms of what's in demand. So the level of demand, the skills that are in demand have kind of shifted with AI, and I'm going to share those with you. So high demand specialized VA skills. Remember at the beginning I said you can either be kind of general, or you can specialize as a VA. So specialized VA skills, what's in demand has kind of shifted. And so this is what I'm going to share with you now. Advanced AI tool management. So because we are now in the era of AI, a few years ago, we were talking about, okay, we are now we've been ushered, and that was during COVID, into this online space and doing work online, remote working and all that. So we were just ushered into this space that a lot of the businesses that were primarily just being done the traditional way, where you go to a physical space, work from that physical location, clocking at this time, clock out at that at a specific time. With COVID, that began to change. It started to change all over the world, not just in specific parts of the world, but generally all over the world, and now there's an acceptance of remote work. A lot of businesses are still doing hybrid. There's, of course, some businesses that are said, no, we want people back in the offices, but there are still others that are doing hybrid or just remote. It's a lot more, it's been welcomed, and people are now more open, and now people have experienced it a little bit, and now they see how it actually can work. And because of that, there's been a shift in this high demand specialized skills. And so, like I said, so that was us going into the online space and getting comfortable with remote working. And then now with Chat GPT, especially when that was launched, not that AI was not in operation or that we were not using AI before, but Chat GPT is like the thing that kind of just launched us again, like full force into artificial intelligence. And so, with that, learning how to effectively use artificial intelligence and integrating AI tools to enhance productivity is a high demand skill. And so one of the ways you can do that is offering that to your clients. You can have a consultation with them, see how they're doing things, and then start making recommendations on these are the AI tools that if you implement in your business, you're going to increase your productivity by so much, blah blah blah. And so you consult with them, offer the services, the recommendations, and then offer to implement those tools for them. That is an advanced AI tool management skill that is in demand. Social media management, again, strategically handling social media platforms, including content creation, community engagement. That is a skill that's been around for a while because we've been on these social media platforms for a while now, and it's still in demand, and it will continue being in demand. Digital content creation, and that's writing, designing, producing multimedia content for websites and social media. And the multimedia content could be videos, could be articles, blog posts, could be reels, could be all those, any media that is used in the social media platforms and websites. If you can create that, then that's in demand, will continue to be in demand. Data analysis and visualization. This is transforming raw data into insights, visual reports for business decision making. If you have this skill, this is a high in demand skill. If you're able to look at data and produce reports in a visually appealing way, attractive way, and also not just presenting the reports, but also giving insight, like looking at the data and providing recommendations based on data, which would help your clients in making decisions. That is a valuable skill. I repeated that. Automation implementation. So setting up and managing workflow automation tools to improve efficiency. Again, learning these, whether they are AI-powered tools or not necessarily AI-powered tools, but just helping your clients to set up and manage workflow automations. So let's say, for example, maybe your client promotes products by email, and you want to help them have a flow, like an automated workflow of, okay, so when someone visits their website and subscribes to maybe something they're offering for free, what happens in the background? What is the flow? So maybe they receive an email with the thing that they've subscribed for. Okay, what happens after that? Maybe after 2 days they receive an email welcoming them or thanking them for their purchase or whatever they signed up for. Or maybe they are put into a series of emails that share about that company and what that company does. And then maybe after that, maybe there's an automation to schedule a check-in call with that customer or that visitor on their website to see if there's anything that they can help them with, if there's any product that they want to purchase on their website, or all that, or offer them something. And so it's a way of nurturing the leads that come to their website. But that automation that happens in the back end is something that is valuable to clients right now. And so being able to set up those, understanding that in demand, not even just in demand, there's the tools or the systems that online business owners need to use. And that's just one example. There's so many, like let's say, like I'm a coach and sometimes I have people scheduling calls, exploration calls. So when they receive the link and book a call, what happens in the back end? So they'll receive an email that tells them, hey, thank you for scheduling your call with Karen. It's at this time and da 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 da. And then there are other automations that have been set to where they'll receive another email, a reminder to tell them, hey, your call is tomorrow at this and this time. Maybe 1 hour before the call, hey, another reminder, your call is at this time. And then maybe after the call, a follow-up email that say, hey, how was your call? Did to get some feedback or something. So creating those automations. Okay, project management. This one again is also very, very valuable. Your clients need this because they have so many projects, moving parts, pieces that need to be managed or need oversight, coordinating tasks, assigning tasks to different people in the team and follow up. And there are tools like Asana, ClickUp, Monday.com, Teamwork, there are various Basecamp. There's so many tools, project management tools that if you understand project management and then leverage these tools to support your clients, then this is a very, very valuable specialized VA skill that you can offer. And then specialized industry knowledge. If you, let's say, you want to become a VA in a specialized niche, for instance, in the legal niche, or medical, or maybe real estate, or maybe even e-commerce, the services or the tasks that would need to be performed in those specific niches are very unique. And so if you are, let's say you want to go into maybe you come from a legal background, and so you understand the legalese, legal language, and the things that are needed. So as a VA, then when you target that niche, you're going to offer very specialized skills because the services that are needed in the legal field are not the same as maybe just a general business or maybe even an online retail store. Whatever the services are they need there are not the same. So the skill sets are different. And then lastly, multilingual capabilities. So being able to provide services in multiple languages to global clients is in demand. And the most in demand, apart from English, the most in demand languages are Spanish, French, Mandarin, German, and Arabic. So if you speak foreign languages, you can take advantage or leverage the fact that you speak a foreign language and consider offering VA skills to clients in those specific countries that speak those languages. So you target business owners in those specific countries. So for instance, if you speak French, you could target business owners in French-speaking countries in Africa or in the world, in Europe or Canada, or Switzerland or France or any other French-speaking country. Okay, so that's it for in-demand skills. Assess your skills and experience. Okay, so this is the point where we are going to do, this is going to be a hands-on assessment. So have your pens and papers or notebooks ready. I'll be going through the core tasks, and this, obviously, I can't give the entire list of tasks that you could potentially be required to do or your clients may ask you to do for each and every one of these types of skills or specializations. But at least this is enough to give you an idea of whether whether your current experience match the needs of these clients who would need you to perform these tasks. So this is our skills assessment session. So as we are going through all this, take note under each category how many core tasks that you currently have experience in, and take note and then tally them, because that area is potentially your starting place as a VA. Virtual assistant is ever evolving. It's a dynamic industry, so you're constantly growing, constantly learning. If you are have an aversion to learning, then I would just tell you virtual assistance is not for you. It requires adaptability, flexibility, just a desire to grow and learn, because that's the nature of the industry. Things are constantly changing. It's very dynamic. And so being willing to learn, being willing to grow is just something that is a constant for a VA. So as a starting point, you might find that, okay, this is what I have to offer right now, and you can start from there. But I can promise you that if you stay there, you will still find yourself now becoming challenged, because it's ever growing, ever changing. And so you have to be constantly willing to learn new skills. And you can learn as you with your clients, because your clients' businesses are also going to be growing, changing, evolving, morphing. And so as their businesses are growing and they're needing you to perform different tasks, just being open to continue to learn, and not telling your clients, oh, I don't know how to do that, and it ends there. It's always being like, okay, I'll figure out how to do that. Having that kind of an attitude is going to take you far. And some clients are willing to even pay you to learn these things as you do your work, because of course they understand, like, if they're implementing a new system, obviously, you didn't know it, you don't know it, it's new for everybody. And so you have to learn. And so many clients would be willing to pay you to learn these new systems or tools that they want to implement in their businesses. Okay, so we're going to start with general virtual assistants. This is just a list of some. This is not all. This is not a comprehensive list. This is just some of the tasks that you could be asked to perform as a general virtual assistant. If you have experience in any of this, just kind of keep a tally, and at the end write how many you are experienced in. All right, so we'll start with general virtual assistant. So email management, that will include things like organizing, filtering, responding to emails, calendar management, scheduling meetings, scheduling reminders, making travel plans for your clients. Um, those are just examples. Data entry and record keeping, and that could look that can look anyhow. It could be taking minutes, it could be taking orders for a client, it could be anything, any typing. That's data entry and keeping records and filing. Document formatting and proofreading. Sometimes your client will want you to format a document and make it look presentable, or proofread. Maybe proofread their websites, proofread their articles, proofread their emails, proofread documents, proofread PowerPoint presentations. It could be anything. Online research and information gathering, that's straightforward. File and order and folder organization, also in the cloud. They can have you just manage their filing system and organize it, or even create a filing system. Transcription of audios and video files, creating and updating reports, spreadsheets or databases, managing digital contacts and CRM, that's client relationship management updates. Those are client relationship management are systems where customers, it's like a database, but also more than a database. It's where you keep a record of clients' communications, just their journey with you, any interaction they've had with you, whether they've purchased products, they've opened emails, they've read an email, they've sent you an email, all that is stored up in a CRM system. Handling personal errands for clients, whether that's booking appointments, making reservations, online shopping, whatever that looks like. So that's general virtual assistance. And just anything random you can think of that a client can just tell you, hey, could you help me? Could you find out this? Could you do this? Just that's what a general virtual assistant does. Very general. A Jane or Jack of all trades. All right, so just keep a track of how many you can perform over here. Customer service excellence, providing high value customer support tasks that could include responding to customer inquiries via email, by chats, by phone, social media, handling complaints professionally and offering solutions, managing customer service tickets, using systems like Zendesk, Freshdesk, Help Scout, providing real-time solution support via live chat, following up with customers to ensure satisfaction, managing refunds, order inquiries, dispute resolutions, chargebacks, engaging with customers on social media, monitoring customer service feedback and online reviews, assisting with onboarding new clients and customers. All that fall under customer service excellence, or customer care. So if any of those you have experience in, just take note of those. And then we talked about advanced AI tool management and AI driven VA tasks. Okay. So setting up AI chatbots. Those are some of the tools you can use: MiniChat, ChatFuel, Drift. Managing AI generated content. Automating repetitive tasks using AI driven tools, using AI powered scheduling tools. Assisting with AI generated transcriptions, using AI for data insight and reporting, training and refining AI generated responses to improve efficiency. The thing about AI, you want to always make sure that you are in sync with your clients, because some clients want to use AI, some clients do not want to use AI. And so if they don't want you using AI and you do, for them, it will be like you're a breach, ethical breach, because it just depends on the clients. People have different views, opinions, how they feel about AI. Some are not there yet, some are. So at the end of the day, as a VA, you're there to serve your client. So it's not even so much what you think or feel about it, it's what your client feels about it, because that's who you're serving. And so if you have a client who does not want you to create any content using AI, then you shouldn't, because if you do, then you're breaking your agreement or contract with them. But if you have a client who wants you to, then for that particular client, you can leverage the use of AI. So, and also make sure that they are aware that that's what you're doing, because if they're not and they're thinking, because depending on what the content is going to be used for, you have to be very careful, because there could be pending lawsuits, really, because of infringement of copyright and all that, because AI doesn't necessarily, because if anything has been put out there, because currently there are lawsuits in the US, because some people feel that their content, which was copyright material, is just being used on, because people are using Chat GTP, and Chat GPT is not, now things are changing. It's giving links and references to where the source of the content or information is coming from. But there are times and cases before that they were not. And now there are so many lawsuits because people are feeling that their copyright content has been abused and is just being used all over the place on the internet. So very, very careful, that you want to make sure you and your client are on the same page. You're having these conversations because you don't want them to be surprised that they did something, put some content out there, and then now they're being sued. Um, you know. All right, digital content creation, multi-format content tasks. Okay, so we talked about this earlier: writing blogs, social media captions, and newsletters or articles, email newsletters or articles, or just even emails for marketing, designing infographics, branded templates, ebooks, editing, and optimizing videos for YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all those, the reels, creating short form video content, recording and editing podcasts, designing PowerPoint presentations, repurposing content into different formats, writing scripts for YouTube, webinar, all that content creation. This is so, so valuable, because the thing about a virtual assistant, once you understand that your job is really to make your client easier, then you always have work. Once you understand that that's your value, it doesn't matter what the task is. because it's not necessarily that your clients can't do these things. It's that they just don't have the time because they are focusing on other things that demand their time, that are more of a priority. But these things, other tasks that we do, they are essential. And so for a business to thrive and for a business to be successful. And so that is the value that you bring. Once you understand this, there's really no reason why a VA should not have a calendar full of clients busy 24/7. It just depends on how far you want to go. Social media management, engaging and growing online audiences, again, creating and scheduling posts across multiple platforms, designing social media graphics, engaging with follow-ups. And then, when it comes to graphics, this is very, very key. Unfortunately, sometimes we think I don't know how to say this nicely and politely. Sometimes just because we create graphics for our own pages and they suit us and they're okay for us, what I've seen when I've even asked VAs to create some graphics for me sometimes, or to send me a portfolio and they say they have some graphics skills and all that. Usually it's, this is really like for graphic designers. These are people who've learned graphic design. They have the talent itself, and then they also have the skills. They understand branding, they understand colors, they understand color theory and color psychology and all those things. So when they create something, it's not just putting a picture and putting somewhere. Like they really understand. So if you're going to monetize and you're going to stand out from the crowd, this is for people who really are designers, like graphics designers. But you can leverage Canva because Canva has a ton of templates, but you still also need to understand things like color theory and colors that go together, that don't go together, and things like that to, Okay. And then engaging with followers, which is replying to comments and messages, monitoring trends and adapting social media strategies, writing captions, hashtags, all that, running and monitoring paid ad campaigns like Facebook ads, Instagram ads, analyzing engagement metrics and reporting performance. That's key. And not only just analyzing and reporting, but also helping with decision making. When I analyze this data and these metrics, what insight am I getting? And how can we use this? How can we leverage this information to maybe continue growing or continue with engagement? Like what kind of content do our audiences need for the engagement to continue to grow, to continue to grow our reach? So it's not enough to just analyze and report. If you can also give recommendations, that is valuable to our client. Managing influencer collaborations and partnerships, setting up and moderating Facebook groups and LinkedIn communities. So that's social media. Okay, data analysis and visualization, turning data into insights. Like that's what I was talking about. Organizing and cleaning data in Excel and Google Sheets. So you need to be very, very proficient in Excel and Google Sheets in order for you to organize data, clean it up, and then create reports, visually appealing reports, and also then from that, create reports. I mean, not reports, recommendations. Create and updating KPI dashboards, generating and analyzing sales, websites, and social media reports, visualizing data through graphs, charts, and pivot tables, tracking email marketing performance and engagement rates, using Google Analytics to monitor website traffic, identifying trends and patterns in business data. So all this is data analysis and visualization. And then automation, we talked about that earlier, but some of the tasks, automating email sequences, I kind of mentioned that as an example, setting up task automation, creating chatbot sequences for customer inquiries, automating lead generation processes, setting up autoresponders for FAQs, managing auto posting tools for social media, automating invoice and payment reminders. So this is all about automation. The goal here is just to make it a seamless process for your clients. And there's so much value in this because you as a VA, you're providing value. Um, it's an opportunity for you to make money rather than feeling threatened by automation, because if without the automation, a VA would have to do it manually. But is it the most efficient way? Especially when we have the tools now. Is it the most productive way? It's not. But rather than looking at that as a threat, it's looking at, okay, how can I up level and then now be the person who is setting up those automations for my client and even get paid more than I would have been paid as the manual person who's doing these things. Okay, project management, talked about this again, creating and managing tasks using all those project management tools like Asana and ClickUp and Monday.com or Trello, assigning and tracking deadlines for teams, organizing project files and shared documents, coordinating team meetings and follow-ups, creating project milestones and Gantt charts, managing stakeholder communications and updates, preparing post-project reports and evaluations. That's all project management. And of course, assigning tasks to teams or identifying who are the team members to perform various tasks. And then I mentioned specialized industries. So like in the legal field, some, and again, I mentioned these are just some, these are not all. Some of the legal VA tasks could be drafting contracts and legal agreements for your clients before they're finalized, scheduling court hearings and consultations, conducting legal research and summarizing case laws. This is valuable to attorneys, organizing confidential client records. And then in the medical, managing electronic health records, handling patient appointment scheduling, assisting with medical billing and insurance claims, transcribing medical notes and dictations. Real estate, creating and updating property listings, scheduling client shows and virtual tours, coordinating property marketing efforts, following up with real estate leads and inquiries. For e-commerce, managing Shopify, Amazon, Etsy product listings, or any other online store, handling customer order inquiries and refunds, monitoring inventory levels and supplier communication, setting up automated abandoned cart recovery emails. So these are just a few, but there's lots more. And then we talked about multilingual capabilities. So translating documents, blog posts, website content, providing bilingual customer support via chat, email, phone, assisting with international business communications, creating multilingual marketing materials, translating subtitles and captions for videos. I actually have a VA who told me what she does is translate for captions, for video captions into foreign language. So, and I mean, if you have a client, and I think it was for a nonprofit organization, yes, in Sudan, and so you get one such client and they're giving you ongoing videos for you to translate into a local language. um, I mean, that can be work that keeps you busy and gets you paid handsomely for a while. Okay. Hopefully, everybody has at least an idea of what they can offer, especially those who didn't know anything about virtual assistants. Hopefully, you now know what you can leverage. So hopefully your discovery is that you do have some skills that you can offer as a VA. And now the question is, do you want to monetize the skills? Because it's one thing to know that, oh, okay, yeah, I can offer these things as a VA. That's great. That's awesome. But then the next question is, do you want to monetize your skills? Because if you don't want to monetize your skills, then I think our conversation is over. You're good, you're happy, you know what you have to offer. If you do ever down the road decide you want to become a VA, at least you now know, oh, I have something to offer, and you know what virtual assistance is. But if you're thinking, okay, I have these skills and I want to monetize them, I want to make some extra income, or I want to still keep my job, but I also want some extra income, or I want to transition out of my regular 9 to 5 job or 8 to 5 or whatever that schedule is, And I want to transition out of that. I want to be a lot more independent. I want to have some freedom. I want to be more, have more flexibility in my time. And so, yeah, I want to know how to monetize this skill so that I can start making money, work from home, and just be done with being stuck in traffic, commuting, or even be done with not being at home for significant time with your family, with your loved ones, your kids. So, but we all know we need to live, we need to make money, we need to survive and pay our bills and all that. And so we need to make money. If you're thinking, okay, I would like to monetize my VA skills, then for you, your next steps would be figure out, identify what's your big why. Why? Like, why do you want to monetize your skills? Because so many times we just think it's, oh yeah, because I want to make money, I want an extra income. But that's a very superficial level of the why. The big why is usually a lot bigger and it's usually larger than you. It's connected to your purpose. But unless we dig deep and figure that out, figure that what that is, it's very easy to get into the VA journey and drop off the journey along the way because you don't know really the true reason why you want to have that flexibility or have that free financial independence or have that freedom. So identifying your big why is super, super, super important, very, very critical. And then identifying who your ideal client is. Who do you want to serve? Where are your skills best matched? Which type of client is best matched for your skill set? And then so you know what your services are, you know what you'd like to offer. So, but how do you package them in a way that is appealing to your potential clients so that they can actually want you to be their VA? Because sometimes, so it's not enough to just say, yeah, I can do this and I can do that, and I can do that and can do that. How are you presenting it in a way that a potential client is like, okay, but it's you that I want you to do to be my VA and not that other person over there. There has to be a way that you're presenting your services that really makes you stand out. Like your unique selling proposition needs to be so clearly communicated that your potential client will just want to work with you specifically and not anybody else. And then how do you price your services? I always tell people you can't, my clients, I tell them you can't have one price fits all. Because if you're serving clients from Europe, one client is from Europe, another one from Canada, another one from Africa, Kenya maybe, another one from South Africa, and another one from Australia. If you have one price for all those clients, I can guarantee you that you're not going to get all those clients because, and a good example, and this is actually, I'm going to share this. I hope my VA doesn't mind. She she was offering her services to somebody in Kenya and she offered them in dollars. And the person was like, why are you offering, why in dollars? And she didn't get to do the job or the assignment. But again, those are things that you have to be aware of. The moment you offer me something in a different currency, already I'm like, it's inconvenient. It's probably going to cost me so much more, especially like let's say in Kenya and somebody is charging you in dollars. You're already like, I can't even afford this person by. I don't even want to talk to them. So those are things that, I teach in my trainings. And then how to market your services and how to service your clients so that you not only have repeat business, long-term relationships, but you also get referrals. Very, very important. Okay, so the VA advantage is my proposal to be your next step to help you identify your big why, identify who your ideal client is, package your services, price your services, market your services, and service your clients. And the VA advantage. Oh, okay. Before we go even in depth with that, again, just a reminder that if you have any questions, right after this, I'm going to be looking at your questions and I'll be answering them right after I share about the VA advantage. So Please, Christine, if you can share that link in the comments. If you have any questions, please submit your questions. So going to the VA Advantage, it's your step-by-step formula for VA success. And it's a proven framework to help you launch, grow, and thrive as a VA. So I've been in this industry for now, this is our 16th year in this industry. So I was a VA way before a lot of people even knew what virtual assistance is. And so I teach from my own experience and my own journey. I don't teach from textbooks or just this is a walked out journey that I've had. And so the VA Advantage is step by step formula for your success. It's not just another training, it's a proven framework that will take you from being uncertain and overwhelmed because many of my students come to me overwhelmed. They're like, oh, I've been researching online. I know so much about virtual assistants, but I'm overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. So I want to get you to a place where there's no more uncertainty. You're no longer overwhelmed. You're confident and client ready. You know exactly what you need to do. You know exactly first what's your big why. That's something that a lot of people jump into virtual assistants without understanding what their big why is, and that is going to cause them to burn out within no time and not be driven as they should to get to the place of thriving and of success. And then it removes this training will remove all the guesswork. You don't have to guess, you don't have to figure it out, you don't have to be wondering, okay, am I doing the right things? Because that's the other thing. When you're out there without a guide, without a coach, you're just watching YouTube videos here and there. This person says this one says the opposite. This one says this is what you should do. You need a website to get started. This one says you don't need a website to get. And now you're like, okay, so which is which? I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing the right things, or and then there's no more time wastage in trying to figure it out alone. So what VA Advantage offers is my own experience that you don't have to be trying things out in the blind, trying to figure your way around and hoping that you're still on the right track. That I will be guiding you along the way with the exact steps. I have helped so many students not waste time and money on the wrong things, including that website that everybody believes I need to have a website to get started. No, you do not. I'll tell you that. But instead of the website, I teach you what you need that is more effective in getting you the clients. So by the end of that training, you will gain clarity. You'll be able to define your VA business vision, the niche, the services that you're going to offer so that you stand out in this crowded market. You're going to figure out your strengths. You're going to discover what makes you valuable and how to position yourself for premium clients. I talked about your unique selling proposition. You're going to create an action plan, get step-by-step guidance on setting up your VA business the right way from the beginning. Learn client attraction secrets to understand where and how to find high quality clients, and then avoid these common mistakes that most VAs do when they make these mistakes when they're starting out. So you're going to learn what not to do for sure, to avoid losing money and just wasting time. You're going to set the foundation for growth and develop a roadmap for long-term success. So by the time we are done, you will have a clear, actionable strategy for launching and growing your VA business with no more guesswork, no more overwhelm. So it's going to have 4 steps, 4 main steps. We're going to have the foundational step for clarity and confidence. And you're going to define your, like I mentioned, define your business vision and goals, identify the skills and services you can offer. So right now we've done the introduction, but when you go in depth with the skills assessment exercises that I offer in the training, you're going to uncover more skills that you have. You're going to choose your VA niche and how to target that market. Step 2, we're going to be setting you up for success. So the business structure, how to set up your VA business the right way, pricing and packaging your services, the business tools and resources that will make your work easier. Then step 3, we're going to deal with marketing and outreach, getting the clients, where to get the clients, how to create a winning online presence, the do's and don'ts of networking and prospecting, and then finally growth and scaling. This is now for long-term success. You don't want to do all this work and then you're losing your clients within a very short period of time. How do you ensure that you sustain your clients? How do you ensure that you're creating a sustainable business? Right? So, how to nurture and retain high paying clients, how to balance work and life, especially for those who want to work from home because you want to be present with your kids, with your family. How do you balance it? Because you may be feeling like you are away from at work for so many hours, and then when you come home, you're tired, depleted, you have nothing to offer. Now, when you're working from home, you also have to set up things, set up some structures and some boundaries to make sure you have a work-life balance, because you may either just not be working because you're at home, or you may be overworking and still not having the life that you desire to have in the first place. And then planning for future growth, how to scale, how to raise prices, how to outsource. If you want to go beyond yourself, if you want to have a VA company like me, how do you do that? What are the steps you need to take, right? So that is what you're going to get from the curriculum. So it's going to be a 3-hour interactive training, step by step, no fluff. If you've taken any of my courses and any of my workshops, I usually we get to the meat of stuff. And then you're going to have the aligned advantage workbook. So the aligned process, which is part of the process I teach in my book, you're going to get the workbook for that, which is going to be your guided roadmap. You're going to do some self-discovery and business clarity worksheets to discover your strength and what your ideal VA services should be. A step-by-step checklist to start your VA business, which is going to be your roadmap, and then a growth strategy planning template. So for the next 6 months, we're going to have a plan for you for the next 6 months, so that you know what you need to be focusing on for the next 6 months. And then after that, it's going to be a rinse and repeat. Do the same thing. And as long as you're consistent, then you have a plan and a strategy that works. And as a bonus, you're going to get the Upwork, what I'm calling the Upwork Gold Mine profile template. So this is a template that I'm going to give it to you so that you can use to tailor and customize for your Upwork profile. So it's going to be a client attracting profile that will help you land clients faster. So that is what that VA advantage is. And so what makes it different? What makes it different is because it's tailored to address your specific questions and your needs, so that I can help you overcome the obstacles that most new VAs in Africa face, such as understanding the unique skill set, what you bring to the table, how to package and price your services. This is so, so, so key. I had one VA student some time ago. I think she completed the course, one of my courses, was it last year, end of 2023? No, 20, yeah, we're in 2025, I think 2023. And when she was done with the client, with the training, she got this client, and she didn't know how to present her services, her skills in a way that it was appealing enough for the client to want to hire her. And so even after the training, she reached out to me, and I helped her design her offer in a way that made sense to the client, and the client engaged her, and she's still working with that particular client. So how you package and how you price your services is so, so, so key. Like I mentioned, if you start, let's say you've been in this VA pages or groups where they say, oh, you should charge this much dollars per hour. That's how much VAs charge. Okay, so now you have a client in New Zealand, and you're giving them your rates in US dollars. They're like, okay. Little things, but if you don't know, you don't know. And that's why it's so important to be guided by somebody who knows and understands the client's perspective. And the reason why I understand the client's perspective, first and foremost, is because I've worked with so many clients from different parts of the world, in Canada, in New Zealand, in the UK, in the US. And also I've also been the client who's hiring VAs. And so I also understand the things that I'm looking for from VAs. I've also been the VA that's been hired. So I also understand, where the VA's mindset is, what the things they're thinking about, the things they're worrying about, the things that they're challenged, their obstacles. I've also been in those shoes. So I see things from that well-rounded perspective. And so my trainings include all of that. So again, you're going to learn how to stand out and compete in a globally saturated market, especially as an African. We talked about the unique challenges, how to wow your clients and build long-term relationships, and how to position yourself confidently as a professional service provider, even if you're just starting out. And again, this is so, so key. Confidence is so, so key. And that is one of the things that most of my clients leave all my courses saying, I am so much more confident than I was when I was starting. Some will say, I started as a 1, now I'm at an 8. I started as a 2, now I'm at a 9. And it's so important, because if you're not confident, how will you even start telling your clients how much you're charging? How are you going to put yourself out there if you're not confident? How are you going to present yourself and share your skills and expertise if you're feeling insecure, intimidated, afraid, all of those things? um, that's what you're going to get at the end of this course. So what is your investment? The regular price is only 7,000 Kenya shillings. But for those who have attended, and so again, if you've not told us whether or not you're on this training, please use that Google Sheet, because if you want to take advantage of the workshop special, which is only for those who attend this workshop today live, who are here, you'll get it for only 5,000 Kenya shillings. I have never offered absolutely any of my courses at this price. But it's because so many of you come to me wanting to take my courses, and you walk away saying, I don't have the money right now. I really wish I could take that training, but right now things are, I can't, da, 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 da. So it's with you in mind, because I know the desire that you have. Many of you want to have that financial independence. You want to work from home. You want to be at home with your kids. You want to have the freedom and flexibility to also do the other things that you have going in your life. But either you're tied up in your regular job and you just don't have the time anymore, or you're at home, you don't have a job, but you don't have the skills to get you to financial independence. And this is the opportunity I'm offering you, so that you can get the skills you need, the knowledge you need, the guidance, the training, so that now you can go out there and start getting some clients and start finally making money and enjoy the life you want, being at home with your kids and doing all the other things that you desire to do. So it's going to be a 3-hour live training. You're going to get workbooks and worksheets. You're going to get your business launch roadmap and growth strategy plan. You're going to get that Upwork gold mine I talked about, which is that profile template to attract clients and get clients fast. And then, so I always like to reward the people who take fast action. So if you enroll at this, I want to even say ridiculously low price, because anyone who's taken my trainings, my trainings are like 40,000 and up. So if you take action within the next 48 hours, which means by today's Tuesday, by Thursday midnight, you are going to get a 90-day replay access. So you're going to get the workshop and replay of that workshop, access to it for 90 days. You're going to get a PDF copy of this Amazon best-selling book of mine. You're going to get that. But that is if you enroll within the next 48 hours. After 48 hours, this bonus is going to go away. You're not going to get the PDF copy of the book after 48 hours, but you can still enroll for 5,000 shillings. And then the replay access is not going to be 90 days. If you enroll after the 48 hours, you're going to have the replay of the training for 3 days. So the live training is going to be on Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. So Tuesday, April 8th, that's when we're going to have the live training. Again, it's only $5,000. This price is only for those who are here live. This price, I'm not offering it to anybody else outside of you who are here in this group. Again, this is just a special price for this workshop. Regular price is going to be 7,000 going forward. But for you, it's 5,000. If you take action within the next 48 hours, you're going to have access to the replay so that you can watch it over and over and over again over a period of 90 days, 3 months. You'll also get a copy of this best-selling book, Stay-at-Home Moms Making Money, 7 Steps to Starting Your VA Business. And again, this book disappears after 48 hours, but you can still enroll for the workshop. Live training again, Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. And you can pay by M-Pesa, and those are the M-Pesa details: 400200, account number 400-78019. Once you make your payment, then you can send a message with your M-Pesa receipt details to Karen at stayathomeMomsMakingMoney.com. Once that transaction goes through, clears on our end, usually we ask you to allow us 24 hours. We are going to send you an email to confirm, and you're going to be registered. So I encourage you to enroll now. This offer has never been offered again. I don't know if it will be offered again, but this is a special, 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 special offer. And again, it's just because I've talked to so many people who are like, man, I really wish I could, but I really just can't. And so I was like, okay, how do I help those people? How do I help those people who that's where they're at? And that's where they're at. The economy is tough. Life is hard right now. And so I thought, well, that this is how I can help. And so take advantage. I just say take advantage because this is something that I've never offered before. Those who are here who've taken any of my trainings, they can attest to that. I've not offered this. So again, enroll within 48 hours. That's by Thursday, March 20th at midnight East Africa time, and you'll get those fast action bonuses. After that, you don't get the copy of the book, but you can still enroll for 5,000 if you are part of this workshop. All right. Okay. So sometimes people are like, well, how do I know for sure Karen is actually legit? Especially for those who are meeting me for the very, very first time. I want to just share a few stories of people who've gone through my training and their success with my trainings. So Chelsea, she said, I landed my first client for $1,000 per month, and she set me up with my second lead. Thank you, Karen. I think I would still be dragging my feet if it weren't for you. So I engaged with Chelsea. She actually did a 5-day challenge. I really challenged them that what they needed to do as their next steps. She followed my advice, and she was able to get her first client. And then she was able to set up a second client within just 5 days. Kenya Whitley, she was crying on the phone with me because she didn't see how financial freedom was going to be a possibility in her life, or even financial stability. And so after completing the training, she said, I am confident in myself and my skills to launch my VA business, and my hopes and dreams are more attainable. Deborah Casey, I worked with her, and she says, working through Karen's program is incredible. Not only do you get the tools to start your own business, but you also learn so much more about yourself than you imagined possible. The program is so much more than just a business program. Karen speaks to you from a real place, allows you to be real. I completed the program, signed up as a freelancer in Upwork, and I'm looking forward to signing up my first client soon. Angela, she said, I was fearful of starting my own business, but after completing the training, I'm confident I can start my business and find clients who need my services. Karen was wonderful. She provided feedback I was missing, shared her experience, and encouraged me every step of the way. Thank you, Karen. Tanisha, I cannot thank Karen enough for sharing her expertise, but also making her coaching program digestible and enjoyable. I am forever grateful that she gave me the framework I needed to start my own business. Her wisdom and insight don't deserve a price tag. This training and experience that she has shared with me will live on in the prosperity of my children. For me, that is huge, that, the training is changing the trajectory of Tanisha's life. And I'm still connected to Tanisha, and she works full time. She's a single mom, but she also has VA clients that she works with on the side. And she was able to do that because she took my training. Lucy said, before I signed up for the program, I was just living the motions of life. Now I'm a whole new person, focused and confident. Karen has a holistic way of profoundly guiding you to connect with yourself. It will change you. It has changed me. So the VA Advantage promise is that with your investment of 5,000 Kenya shillings, you're getting access to proven strategies that work, templates, and expert guidance that could lead you to your first or next paying client. So this is not an expense. It's a fast track to success. So that's what the training is about. I'm not going to go over this again, and I have more stories from Magdalene. She thought I was a godsend, and I still talk to Magdalene every once in a while, and she's doing well. She's now in the agribusiness sector. Her clients are in Kenya. Charlotte also, she went through the training, and she just said, Karen has set out her training in a very simple language. You just want to go on and not stop this training. This is a training I would highly recommend. And I just simplify things. I really break down things to a very simple, understandable language. You're not going to be overwhelmed by the training. I guide you step by step so that you know exactly what you should do. Charity's on this call. She's rated herself as a 5. She's gone through my training and she has clients. She's worked with clients. She said, I'm eternally grateful, Karen, to have met you and signing up for your coaching program. This investment has undoubtedly been the best decision I have ever made for my personal growth. I feel exponentially more confident in the major areas of my life. Thank you for believing in me and that I can create what I most desired in life. So that was Charity. And so that's it for this training. I want to answer your question. So, first question, how to create a good CV to get clients? All right. So I'm going to answer two parts. Number one, very, very important to know that as a VA, you're not an employee. You are a service provider. Very, very key. Very, very key to get that, because if you think of yourself as an employee, you're going to use language and terminology that is going to put off your potential client without you realizing it. Now, as a service provider, you don't write CVs or resumes. CVs and resumes are for employees. Very, very important, because if you have an employee's mindset and you show up as an employee, your clients, some of them will end up treating you as though you are an employee. And that means forget your freedoms, forget your leverage, forget your flexibility, because you're showing up as an employee. An employee is hired to just do whatever task they're offered to do. If you show up that way, you will not be able to show up as a problem solver, as a service provider who is their own independent person, equal to their client, as another business owner offering services to another business owner. And therefore, you will kind of always be feeling like you're over here. You don't want to show up that way, because then you are basically allowing the client to call all the shots. And so if they decide, okay, I'll just pay you whatever much, you won't feel like you can tell your client, this is how much I charge. Because when you're an employee, the employer decides how much they're paying you. You don't necessarily decide. You might have a counter offer. They can accept it or not accept it, but it's different. So, when you are a service provider, imagine you are, let me give an example of, I don't know, an electrician. If an electrician comes and does some electrical work in your home, they're a service provider. They come, they do what they're doing. They tell you how much they charge. You don't tell them, okay, this is how much I'm paying you. No, they tell you how much they charge, their fees are. So it's subtle, but it's so critical, because I mean, It can make and break you as a VA. So, okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to get out of the way. So we don't have CVs and resumes as VAs. We are service providers. We provide our service lists. We have profiles on our social media platforms that market service, market or showcase what we are offering, right? Or we have flyers that also market the services that we are having. Eventually, if you have a website, you have your website that you send people to. You see, like as an employee, you don't send your employer, oh, check out my website. That's not how it's done. Again, it's because it's a two different business relationships. Very, very critical. So how to create a good CV for clients. So this is a very, yeah, to answer this question, I teach this in the training, but in summary, apply AIDA: attention, interest, desire, and action. So make sure all your marketing materials grab your client's attention. They need to be attention grabbing. Attention grabbing is not just using bright colors. That's not what attention grabbing is. Attention grabbing is in the content, is the message speaking to your potential client. So it needs to be attention grabbing. It needs to create an interest in them. So first it grabs their attention and then they're like, what's this about? So you've already created an interest. And then through your content, through the messaging, you want to create a desire in them, a desire to want to take your next step. So you're guiding them through a process so that now they have a desire to take the next step with you, whatever you direct them to be the next step. The next step is the action. So that's the last step of AIDA: action. So you need a strong call to action in all your marketing materials. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's your freelance profile, it's your website, it's your flyer, it's whatever, business card. A strong call to action tells them exactly what you want to do. What's the next step? Remember that you're always building a relationship with your clients, even before they become your clients. It's like dating. You can't just meet somebody and then you proposing to them. So you don't want to just, the first time they're meeting you, like, oh, can you hire me to be your VA? They don't know you. So it's like, hey, relax. Hey, please. It's the same way. You can't meet someone for the first time and they're proposing to you, be like, hey, please, I don't know you. Can I get to know you? It's the same thing. You're building a relationship. When they start to feel like, oh, I know her, kind of feel like I like her, I trust her, so you want to build a relationship. Marketing is not it's not a get rich quick process. It's not it's not a fast process. It's really good. Marketing is building relationships. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. Sometimes that know, like, trust factor can be circumvented when somebody refers you. So if somebody tells me, like, let's say I see somebody's hair, I like how their hair looks, and then I ask them, hey, who does your hair? They tell me, and I'm like, oh, wow, I love your hair. Could you give me their number? So that process has been circumvented. I don't have to go now because I've already seen somebody whose hair has been done by that hairdresser and I like it. That's already market. That quality work is already marketing. It's already selling itself. And so now when I ask for the number, when I go to that hairdresser, I already know what she's offering. So I can easily just schedule an appointment and get my hair done with her. So that's the same with even VAs. If you've done quality work, let's say for a client, whether you do it for free or however you choose to enter the market, if you can showcase your services in a way that a potential client is like, who does your VA, or your client becomes your working advertisement. They're like, oh man, I work with this VA and oh my gosh, she's so amazing. But also be careful. My clients, the first, I want to say 5 years, none of them really wanted to market me to their potential clients because they always felt like the quality of work I was going to do was going to be compromised, which was not true. And I had to help them trust that that's not going to happen before they were okay with just sending me referrals. But that's because it's virtual assistants and there's a time element, because they feel like, oh, well, if you have 10 clients, then what happens to me? You before I had you access to you for many hours. If you have 10 clients, that means my time is being shrunk. And so they might not feel comfortable with that. But the fact that somebody, a client of yours, is willing to refer you, that means they're selling for you. That means when they refer somebody, that person has already been pre-sold. Maybe the only thing they'll want to know is, what are your rates? What are your hours? How can we work together? So that has already been done. That's the power of doing good quality work for your clients. So that's a way that can be circumvented and make that process shorter. But generally, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And that know, like, truster factor takes time. Like the example I gave, dating to marriage, it's a process. It takes time of developing that liking, trusting, liking, trust process. Know, like, trust process. So that's how you create a good marketing materials: either attention grabbing, interest, desire, and a strong call to action. Tell them what you want to do. But again, with the call to action, don't just tell people, okay, call me for pricing. If you tell people, call me for pricing, again, people don't like to be sold. That's the same as somebody telling me, hey, call me, I want to propose to you. It's like, oh, no, same thing. So you want to know that it's a process. Talk about VA. So next question, and the only other question I have. Talk about VA work having no age limits. That as wait. Talk about VA work having no age limitations, as that's a misconception, especially for those feeling time barred to learn new skills. Okay, there are no age limitations. There are no age limitations. Why? Business owners pay, and not only business owners, anybody who is paying for any service is paying for results. You're paying for results. As long as you can deliver what you're promising to deliver, which is what you've sold me, and I'm like, I want that. That's all that matters. As long as you can deliver. So people pay for results. People don't just pay for, oh, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. No, but can you deliver? If you can deliver, I'm willing to pay for that. So in that sense, there's really no age limitation. There's no limitation. You're working remotely, like there's no there's no age limitation. And then there are some business owners who specifically, depending on the service that they offer, they want more mature VAs, they want more grounded VAs, because themselves they are more mature, so they don't want a lot of. There are some people who just want a mature, grounded person based on the service that they offer. So let's say it's a business consultant who is like 70 years old. They might not want to have a 20-year-old VA, because they also want somebody who's experienced in the business field. They know how things like office etiquette and just being prompt and being on time, confidentiality, all those things that a mature person will not necessarily even have to be trained, but just because they've been in the business world or corporate world for a long time, some things they just know. Like, my client is a consultant, these clients are high-end clients. I need to show up a certain way. I need to communicate very professionally. I need, like, I make sure that all my communications, there's no grammar errors, there's all those, and nobody is training you, because because you've been in the corporate world and business etiquette, business language, business communication, and that is of value to that particular business owner. but it may be a younger business owner who is selling maybe some trendy things on TikTok may want to have a younger VA who is on TikTok a lot of times and knows the TikTok language and all of that stuff. So, but it has really nothing necessarily to do with age. It's can you deliver the results? People pay for results. And I hopefully that has answered your question. All right. So this is it for this training. For anybody who wants to take those details. Esther says, such a great session. Thank you. Yeah, her takeaways, you living equipped. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. All right. Okay. So that's it for our training today. Uh, Again, I hope that you're very welcome, Esther. Irene says, I really enjoyed the session. There's always time to learn new things. Awesome, awesome, great.